I just started that story only a moment ago, realised I hadn't turned the thing on. Dylan's here, it's Monday Motivation. We're out, we've had a pretty gentle run, just under 5k. Nice to get out, sweaty as hell, beer coming out of me. Why? Because I was in London on Saturday night for the reunion of the Army Command and Staff Course 1991. So 30 years ago, whole bunch of mainly army, but some civil servants, a number of internationals, including a brilliant colonel from the Israeli Defence Force, who was a great guy on the course and made the journey over. A number of Royal Marines, and it was a great night. And so storytelling, so we heard stories of their lives over 30 years. I'd seen a few of them, but not that many. And just to pick up on what has happened to, there were 160, I think, on the course. 60 odd were, 60 odd were overseas, brilliant international students, and then 120 of our lot, I think. But we had about nearly over 50, I think, who turned up, and it was absolutely fantastic. But of course, you hear stories of joy, of excitement, of great careers. Some number, we had a few very, very senior officers who made it all the way through, lasted the 36, 38 years serving, and did amazingly. But also you hear tragic stories, and so life has a way of turning out, And it's the theme really a little bit of what I wanted to just talk about with this idea of storytelling and the stories we tell about ourselves, about others, about situations, and how often we can turn those, if we paint the picture in a very powerful way, as vivid as possible, visualize it, how more likely it is that that's actually going to take place. So the stories about ourselves, what's yours? What story do you want to tell about yourself for another year's time, or 5 years' time, or 10 years' time? And there's a lovely quote which says, we seriously overestimate what we can achieve in a year, but majorly underestimate what we can achieve in 10. So where are we in 10 years' time? I'm hoping I'm still going on that golf course. I'm still going to be fit and energetic, positive and loving life, and still trying to be compassionate and caring and helping others. And that is a great story to have. And the thing about our brains is that if we can visualize them very, very powerfully, these stories we tell, our brain doesn't distinguish between whether we've had it or we haven't had it. And therefore it makes us more likely that we can take opportunities, that we're going to get to that place in a more positive way, or a more likely way than if we hadn't even thought about it. So what are your stories for yourself? And when we tell stories about others, it's too easy to judge them. It's too easy to put thoughts about what they get wrong or what they don't do well. But if we can assume noble intent, assume that actually people generally, and of course there are tossers out there, there are murderers out there, there are bad people, but generally people tend to want to do the right thing. Their intent is sound. And if we can assume that noble intent, then actually our interactions with them is going to be that much better. Anyway, a little bit about storytelling. Hope you have a fantastic week, and make this week the one you want it to be. Make it yours. Take care. Tell a great story. Bye-bye.